Yo, what's going on, my guys? Actually, no, we're not early. We're a little late. Robbie, my brother. I thought we were early for once. 3 minutes late, but
no, we're late, bro.
That's better than what we're usually at. Dude, good to see you, my brother. We also got another awesome special guest. Man, it's been a while. I can't remember the last thing he came on. Was it Prince of Darkness? But my man, Chamorro, Mr. Emmanuel. Dude, thanks for coming, bro. For real. I'm glad you reached out and said you wanted to come in for this one, because this is one I love.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm excited. I remember loving this movie a lot in 8th grade, and then I just rewatched it. I remember loving this movie a lot in 8th grade.
Yeah. I thought I had backup, and I might be screwed.
I still got some stuff I love about it.
Yeah, it's not a perfect film, no doubt. But before we get into John Carpenter's Vampires, I know I got a little horror news. I don't know if you guys got anything. Maybe Robbie does. They said, I think they're redoing The Lost Boys. He's gonna be pissed that you walked away for this, bro. It says The Lost Boys are coming back to the big screen. Warner Brothers announced a reboot of the vampire classic today, with Noah Jupe, the boy from A Quiet Place, the brother,
mm-hmm.
and Jaden Martell, the kid who played Bill in It, the first It. Not the original, the remake, but part one with the kids. Do you remember the kid he had? Georgie's older brother with the stutter.
Yeah. No. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like really hype on that. Did you hear what I said, Robbie?
Yeah, you're talking about the Lost Boys thing, right?
Yeah. But I don't know what, like, maybe the kid from It could be playing a vampire. I don't know. Like, I don't know, dude. Or is it going to be two brothers, like it was last time, and maybe just Michael's not going to be as old. So they seem like the same age, but I think the kid from It is older than the kid from A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I don't have faith in that.
No, I don't at all.
No.
Look at what they did with Black Christmas, the remake. I won't even watch that because it's just so bad. Like, you can't, like...
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, the Lost...
How do you know it's bad if you haven't watched it?
Dude, I don't need to watch the Black Christmas remake, bro. Like, I'm telling you. Like, I usually, I would be like, fuck it, it's so bad that I'm here. But, dude, people were dogging, like, worst movie of the decade, like, for horror fans. I guarantee that, bro. That shit is terrible. Terrible. I watched a lot of reviews for it, and it's just, like, total. I remember there's, like, that agenda where it's, like, women overpowering men or some shit. I don't even know, but I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just the dumbest remake ever. I promise you that, Robbie. Don't waste your time with the 2019 Black Christmas. probably won't really waste your time with Lost Boys either, because the reboot.
I think I saw that one, the remake of Lost Christmas or Black
There's
Christmas.
two. There's one that came out in the early 2000s, which is fucking awesome. It's off the walls, bonkers. Like the dude literally like cuts skin, like cookie, like gingerbread cookies, like out of skin. Like he starts cooking them, he's just smashing like human skin in the shape of gingerbread. It's wild. It's a little too much for some people, I could see, but for me, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy awesome.
It's not a bit of a weird stretch.
The remake of Black Christmas, the one I'm thinking of with the sorority girls and stuff, has nothing to do with the original, like at all. Like it's a bunch of like satanic frat boys and then like the sorority sisters trying to get away from them. Like it doesn't have any of the original story.
That's the new Blumhouse one. Yeah. The other one is like it's more about like Billy escaping prison and shit. Like they get a little bit more into like the Billy aspect in the remake. But it goes deep. I'd say that it's like early 2000, maybe 2005. Check that one
5 or 6, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I like that one. Not as good as the original, but I still have fun with that. That's why I was like, dude, they remade that twice, you know? And I don't know, man, just terrible. I just can't believe that. Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. They announced like the full title name coming to Paramount Plus. October 29th. So I don't know if there is a trailer for it. I did not get to watch that, but
I wonder who has more sequels right now, Land Before Time or Paranormal Activity? What do you think?
Land Before Time has more better sequels.
Yeah,
but no.
I really like. I only remember like the first 3 Paranormal Activities. I have them all. I do want to watch them, but I
just remember the first one, and that's the only one I've ever seen. But I remember. It scaring Jelani for like 2 months. Like for like 2 months, Jelani would jump at everything. I took advantage of it. Trust me.
Did you swing pot? Just had pots swinging randomly because that's about 90% of the movies.
What would happen is we worked together at a video store, and I was the manager, and so I'd be like, "Hey man, go straighten up the horror section," but I'd have another employee hiding back there, and so that they would like jump out and shit like that. I'd be like, "Go restock the sodas." He'd open the door, and somebody'd pop out, and shit like that.
Oh shit! I like it. Paranormal Activity just choked to death in its own like attempt to create lore. It's like the first film is by itself. The second film, they're like, okay, well now we're going to introduce the sister, and that was fine. But then once you get to like the third films and stuff, and it's like, oh, there's a coven of witches, and we sold our soul for our firstborn child to a demon, and there hasn't been a firstborn son, but yet then they have Hunter, but Hunter still doesn't meet the quota. The shit just gets so convoluted. That's the problem with the Paranormal Activity sequels.
Dude, they made so much money off that first one. They were like, we got to keep like doing this. Like they cost nothing for us to make. Like they made the first one on like 10 grand, dude. Like it probably was a little bit more, 10, 15 grand, and made millions. Like, dude, I mean, at this point, like I get that because I got to rewatch them. And I remember I kind of got phased out of it. I was just never like the Blair Witch and shit. Like I'm just like looking for all this creepy stuff, and I'm like, I don't see anything. What is everyone talking about at times? Like I do like the Blair Witch, but like,
I like the first Blair Witch.
Like video footage stuff, I gotta be like in the mood for it. The second one I actually kind of like too, of Blair Witch.
Can we just go ahead and say this and get this out of the way? But the best like found footage, even though that kind of method of making horror films, like that way of making horror films, the found footage thing, the best horror found footage movie is Digging Up the Marrow by Adam Green.
Dude,
I gotta watch it. I remember it from Adam Green night.
And that one episode of Holliston.
I thought you were gonna say the episode of Holliston.
Yeah, that's actually the best one.
Dude, I love Digging Up the Marrow. I was like rewatching like that. I was rewatching like constantly. I love Digging Up the Marrow, dude.
Yeah, you need to check it out, Manny. Last I watched it, it was still on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it is anymore.
I bet you it is. I
wonder if it's on Shudder
or two.
It was at one point. I'm not sure if it still is.
I didn't mind Chronicle, and I didn't mind Cloverfield. I thought both of those were.
Oh yeah,
were
I
pretty good
about Cloverfield. Yeah, that's a
good
one. I haven't seen Chronicle ever.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Chronicles good.
It's like a prequel to Chronicles of Narnia, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
this is how the White Witch got her powers.
Okay, so it's like Magician's Nephew.
Sure, he might be a nephew of a magician. I guess I don't know. I think I could have sworn he was like the son of some like Norman Osborn. I think is who he is. But
well, you've been taking pictures of your friend Spider-Man
every once in a while, you know.
The yeah.
So they're remaking Lost Boys, huh?
Yeah, man. I don't know about that one. Candyman came on Amazon to rent for like $20 this Friday. So if you didn't get to see that and you're interested, $19.99 to rent for 48 hours.
So without spoilers, like I must have to rewatch the first Candyman. There's like a lot of lore in this new movie that I don't know where the hell that came from. Like all the other Candyman adjacent characters.
You won't see that in the first one. The only thing that they talk about from the first one is the Helen Lyle stuff.
Okay.
And even, I don't remember her like doing snow angels in blood. I don't know about that. That was just probably some BS. But yeah, there's just one Candyman. That was like something new they did.
Well, and the whole thing about the snow angels in blood, what they're doing is they're talking about the evolving nature of story and thought forms, right? So that they're actually expanding out the lore in the new one in a really interesting way until they just kind of realize they're out of time and they got to wrap up the fucking movie. So,
oh yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was good enough. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know what I don't know. Sometimes with these reboots, I can't give them a fair shake. Like I walk in there with an expectation that is not fair to put on the creators, right? Like I walk in there thinking, all right, it's going to meet all my creepiness factor. It's going to hit every beat. And then they take it in their direction. It's really not fair of me to impose my expectations on there. Right. So it's like, I thought it was okay. I think like Robbie said, it just kind of wraps up in the third act, like just that, but maybe a little bit more time. I don't know if this maybe would have been better to plan out as a but then if they would planned it out as 2 movies or 3 movies, we'd be bitching that it didn't end on a note. It just kept, you know what I mean? It was open ended. So
I feel like they're doing that anyways, though. Like if they made bank, I bet you they would be like, okay, well, let's do something else. Like I could just see it, dude. They did, dude. Is it Blumhouse that put that out? It's Blumhouse, right?
No, I don't think so because it's Peele's company, right?
Okay, I might be wrong. But I don't know, man. I that third act is just so left field. All I can say is my boy Christian Hanna like hit it on the money. It's like it's the Sartan thing where it's just with the Halloween 2018. You know, that freaking doctor just comes out of nowhere with these crazy motives, and you're just like, they make no sense, and then they just blow it out the way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they announce it and they just push it to the side, just like with the shit with her dad committing suicide. Like
it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere.
Yep. It goes nowhere. The only thing that I see is that she has daddy issues, and she falls for the same type of person that her father is. She falls for a painter, you know, that isn't, you know what I'm saying, like on, you know, doing that well. He hasn't done a painting in like over 2 years. You know, she's kind of using her contacts to get him in, you know what I'm saying? And it just seems that she has daddy issues. That's all I really take from that. Because when I was like, oh, her dad was a painter, you know, because I see it, he's got paintings and shit. And it's just, I don't know. That's all I really picked up, daddy issues, you know.
I think that you're not going to hear me say this often, but I do think this movie would have benefited with an extra 15 to 20 minutes.
Big time.
Right? And also, why in the hell did Yahya not go to the doctor sooner? Like, that shit he's two-faced by the time he goes to the doctor. He's like, bro, you think that this bee sting's infected?
Yeah. You know, my hand is just like deteriorating. You know what I mean? But I thought that was actually because they don't do that in the original. I mean, he's got the ribs and shit, which I was definitely missing because I love seeing like the rib cage and shit. But I thought that was one of the cool newer things that they did is where like his whole skin looked like a beehive, you know? I thought that was kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah, it was cool. And it was gnarly, bruh. It was like gross. It was, it was just like, I was just like, ugh.
Dude, but the gore, man, like this feels almost PG-13 to me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's that one good kill where that chick, where they named that guy Clive because of Clive Barker. I feel like but when she's like trying to bang him and then she calls out to Candyman and her shit just gets slit. I thought that was the best kill. They do that one kill where it's like where you're like hundreds of yards away from like the building and you just see her kind of getting thrown around. I do like how they kind of do like the shadows where like you see the shadow and then you see him in the reflection. You don't really see him like straight ahead. You catch him in the reflection or like in a shadow. I thought that was interesting, but it's just like I really wanted to, like, because when I saw that throat slash, I was like, oh, dude, like get more of this, like hell yeah, bro. Because all the time you get these kills with Candyman where they call out to Candyman in the mirror and then he just appears right behind them and puts the hook through their back. And like that's the only kill you really get. And I mean it's cool, but it gets old. You know what I'm saying? It's like get a little creative with your kills. So when I saw him do at least just not like through the back, I was like, oh man, can we get some more like dope shit like this? And it kind of let me down with that, to be honest. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, like that one kill, that's the best kill without a doubt. That girl getting her shit slit. The others you don't really see. They're kind of like to the side, or you can just tell like he's just kind of like slashing, and then they just go down real quick. You don't really see much. No. I don't know. I could do a whole damn review. I watched that today and was just dissecting it today, but I like it could have been really good. That's what bums me. It could have been really good, to be honest.
I still think the first hour of it's super solid, like very captivating, really interesting. Yeah. The cinematography is great. Some of the themes, Yahya Abdul-Mateen's performance, I think is brilliant. I really like it, but once they reveal who's kind of behind everything, and then it just I'm like, what?
Yeah. And by the time they show the reveal at the very end, I'm like, I don't even really care at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've already kind of gotten used to this one guy. He was pretty creepy his damn self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess like it goes back to him because he was the original. So I thought that was still cool, but it's like they're not gonna do a sequel with just a whole CGI'd younger version of Tony Todd. You know what I mean?
No.
Marvel would.
Yeah,
that they would. You think Yahya like went back to his agent after he got cast for his upcoming films? He's like, am I just gonna play every older black man's character in cinema?
Right.
Like, I'm like, just
Morpheus, freaking Candyman.
Yeah. Dr. Manhattan, who's blue.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
But still.
Yep.
It was something though, seeing like at the end.
Black Man is solely his though.
That is.
Yeah.
And he did really good for the 10 minutes they let him be in that film.
Aside from that terrible, for what he was given, he did just fine.
Yeah.
Let's just work on a better script for part 2, I hope. That's all I'm expecting. I mean, the movie was fine. It had nice moments, but like the whole bit of Black Mana's dad dying and all that shit was just so lame, man. It was so stupid to me, man. But whatever,
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm hoping they go like I remember I told you there James Wan teased like that Planet of the Vampires homage that inspired him. So I can't wait to see more of the deep.
We know that James Wan is into some crazy Italian shit.
Yeah. Did you watch that? Didn't you?
Yeah.
You liked it?
I didn't like it at first.
I didn't, dude. It took me a while. Like I had to.
It's growing on me though, man.
I kept falling asleep, and only getting the first half, and I wasn't that crazy about the first half, to be honest. I was thinking, I'm like, dude, this kind of looks like the Jigsaw Killer at times. It's like throw a pig mask on him, and it was like the same getup. But after like you get to like the second half and you get the reveal and the twist, I was like, I kind of fuck with this. Like it was different. And I kind of respect that, like James Wan doing something different and unique, even though it feels like Basket Case to me, but ramped up and like way cooler shit going on.
That's a little bit of a spoiler if you say it's like Basket Case, but
that's okay. I started off the Candyman discussion with like, no spoilers. And it's like he ended up as Tony Todd at the end. So it's like,
yeah.
So
I'll just say this: like, it gave me some Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone vibes.
Yeah. Oh,
and now I have to watch it.
And I'm the one giving spoilers.
See, here's the thing. I was thinking about this movie, and I did my review on Sunday night, and I gave it, I think, like a 3, and I was like, it's just weird, and it's a mash of tones and this and that. And the more I thought about it, I was like, if this was an Italian horror film by, say, a Fulci or Lamberto Bava or something in the 80s, I would love every fucking bit of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love it. And so I was like, and then you had mentioned the Giallo influence, right? And so I started thinking, I was like, if this was a Fulci film from the 80s, I would love it. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I think I like this movie. And it's not like any horror movie we've had in America in a long time. Because it's, I watched a Chris Stuckman review of it, and he was talking about the importance and the underappreciation and the underutilization of camp, like what true camp is supposed to be. And that's what this movie is. And the fact that they marketed the movie to seem like it would be a Conjuring type movie, when in fact that's not what it is. It is in fact a campy slasher film. Like, that kind of blows you away, the way they kind of twist the movie towards the middle of it. It's really, it's definitely worth watching. I'll say that.
Maybe I'll check it out after the stream tonight. My daughter is sleeping over somewhere, so the only one I got to worry about is the 1-year-old, and I got time to save up for therapy.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah, that just goes into the subconscious. You won't have to deal with that for a while. By then, they'll be out of the house. Like,
exactly. Then it's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, exactly. As your wife pops into the chat.
Yeah. Station hotness. Station. There's a lot of good people in here, man. I've seen Mark. I've seen Verno. I saw Drac. I saw the PCP Army Backlog Bros and Bad Batchers. All kinds of good people in the chat.
Hell yeah. My Backlog Bros always come and represent.
They're all right.
Yeah.
They're a little overrated. It could use probably about 15 more minutes in the third act.
Exactly. It's like the Backlog Bros is a lot like the Power Rangers film. The remake.
It's like how you like Power Rangers. It's like this, like you like the Bad Batch is like you like Power Rangers. You like them at first, then all of a sudden they make the Blue Ranger a fucking kid, and that's what's happened with the addition of Brandon.
Fucking Brandon.
Yeah, so
I think
we're gonna replace him with TJ soon. Don't worry. Goodness gracious.
The last thing I got is they drop. Well, I think I have one or two things. One, I know I have one thing. Two things. I Know What You Did Last Summer TV show on Prime released like a trailer or a teaser. I guess a teaser coming October 15th. Dog, this shit looks so stupid. Like I like want to watch it because I do adore the first original two, and I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. I know some people don't like them because it's around like that kind of that time after Scream where everything was kind of like the similar. But dude, I love the original, and this show, man, just looks like total like teenage rom-com with like that in the background. Maybe they're not showing much. A lot of times with TV shows, like they show you like shit from the first episode, and you're like, that looks fucking dumb, and then you kind of get into it, and you're like, oh, okay, like they were hiding a lot more. So I do want to watch it, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna like it, to be honest. We'll see though. I've been surprised before. I did like the Scream MTV show. The first 2 seasons I thought were pretty dope of that. Season 3 is terrible, but it's funny. They got the original mask back for season 3 so bad. They had to use like a different mask, and Wes Craven worked on the first 2 seasons, but they couldn't get the rights to the official mask. I thought it was pretty dope, man. I thought it was actually really cool.
Yeah, that new mask looked cool.
Yeah. And then Elvira makes her horror host return with Shudder's Elvira's 40th anniversary. Very scary, very special. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm a huge Joe Bob Briggs fan. Like The Last Drive-In. Like, dude, if you have Shudder or if you don't have Shudder, it's like $5 a month. Go check that shit out. And dude, go watch Joe Bob's Last Drive-In. Like, I have so much fun with those. Like, if you like watching this show, like, and hearing us dissect stuff, that's like literally what he does. But he's got like an insight that not a lot of us have because he actually knows a lot of these people, and he's just a huge ass fan like us. Where he just knows so much, man. I love that dude, man. I was more of a Joe Bob Briggs guy than Elvira, to be honest. But Elvira is just a little bit more wacky. I felt like always Joe Bob's was more serious and just straight to it, which I kind of liked. But I love them both. I respect the hell out of both of them, you know. So I'd definitely be checking that out and showing mad support.
This Elvira news is finally going to get me to get Shudder.
Yeah. Sick, dude. I love that.
Elvira.
I can't believe you didn't get it yet to watch the amusement park.
I'm on a mission. I want Elvira on my channel because she was over at Bueller's channel, and I was just like that. Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. He interviewed Elvira like a month ago.
No.
Yeah. So I got a new goal. I'm going to interview her. I'm going to do better than Bueller.
Oh, dude. Can I come on?
Bueller can get fucked for all I know.
That's a hopeful aspiration for him, though.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
Robbie?
I mean that in the most positive way. I hope that he gets laid when he goes out there on the Bueller bus, the banging, shagging wagon Bueller bus.
The shagging wagon, yeah, dude, that's awesome. The Bueller guy, dude. If you get to review her, you definitely better tell me. I love though this. They're like Halloween season 2021. They're like Halloween or Elvira's back, Chucky's back, Michael Myers is back, Paranormal Activity's back, Guillermo del Toro is back with his like anthology show I think he's doing. Mike Flanagan is back, which I'm not sure what he's doing. I'll have to look that up. VHS is back. I Know What You Did Last Summer is back. Edgar Wright is back. Day of the Dead is back. Like, bro, it's pretty good 2021. I hope we get some good stuff, man, this October. I am so hyped for Halloween Kills, dude. So hyped. Anything you guys want to talk about before we get into vampires?
I don't have any news. No.
Nothing. No worries, bro. I know I just probably talked up enough for the next 2
I just got this new farmhouse cider wax melt. That's amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Nice. I was wondering if you were going to say that. And I know going into this, you had a little bit of a hesitation to bring that out. And I'm just proud of you that you spoke your truth on that, bro, because I was worried. You can't leave that shit bottled up. You can't leave it bottled up.
No, it's warm cider. It's nice. It's Halloweeny in this house in the studio. It smells like apples and pumpkins.
If there's one thing I want for you, Robbie, it's that your house smells like weenie as much as I can. As much that's that, I'm putting that out to you.
Nice. Yeah.
Pumpkin Febreze. Nice. It's nice. Dude, it's like 85 out here. I'm so pissed. I'm like, dude, where the fuck is my fall weather? Like, I want my hoodie weather. Like,
yeah, you're up in Ohio.
I'm sweating my balls off out here, bro.
We got a cold front coming in next week. It's gonna be like highs in the 70s. I'm like freaking excited.
Dude, it was like 70 last week at like night, and it was incredible. I love it.
Yeah, it'll be 85 here on Halloween night, though. That's how it always works. You wind up with this Halloween costume down here, and you're just like taking off your shit because it's too hot.
Yeah, dude. It was like when we went to the drive-in to see Halloween 1 and 2 last year, it was super cold. Hey, Mike Zero.
We gotta put like snowsuits on under our kids when they go trick or treating. So
yeah, that's how it be out here, bro. It gets chilly as fuck by then, bro. It's like they totally like we get like 2 weeks of fall or like real fall weather, then it just goes into like ice cold, bro. I'm like, and fall is my favorite, so it just totally bums me out.
When that cold front comes through Robbie tomorrow, it pushes all that hot shit up to us. It's gonna be like 90 tomorrow, and then it drops back down to like 65, 67.
Nice. Maybe you can even get it to hit 69 at some point.
I try. I do my best. I stay indoors at that time because there's nothing that's more of like a mood killer than all of this. So I try to stay inside, let that weather get to that peak, to that 69, dude. And, I do my part.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right.
Way to live your truth, Manny.
Thank you.
So let's get into it, guys. John Carpenter's Vampires, 1998. This dropped. Any of y'all see this in theater by chance, or when it came out at the Blockbuster?
Aside from last night, the first and only time I've watched this has been opening night, which was, I think, like Halloween weekend, if I remember correctly.
Really?
I remember watching it, being really pumped for it, and fucking hating it. So
yeah,
really excited to revisit it tonight. I do have it though, because getting all the John Carpenter movies. But
hell yeah,
I saw it in theater, and I remember being disappointed. But looking back, in '98, I'm like 17.
Mm-hmm.
It's my senior year of high school. I am not well versed in film yet. I'm starting to get into it, right? And I do appreciate John Carpenter, but not quite on the level that I do today. Right. And also, this movie came out like 2 months after Blade. And you're trying to convince me that James Woods is this badass vampire hunter 2 months after I saw Blade for the first time? That's a hard sell for me.
Real hard sell.
I watched it on rental. So I was like 13. I was not just getting into film. I had been well versed for years, having studied under the masters. But I was I'm fucking G.I. Joe. All of those amazing cartoons that shaped me into the critic I am today. But the this film, I liked it, and 13, I guess at the time I didn't have a ton of comparison. It's not like it's Blade I had seen, but Blade is a different level. Like Blade stands on its own even today.
Dude,
right?
So far. I went to see Blade in the theater when I was like 5 years old, dude. Like, and then I went to see the second one too. Fucking awesome, bro.
Oh, Blade is in a league of its own. In terms of this, I guess if I look at films like From Dusk Till Dawn and things like that, this fits in that kind of motif. Nothing about the film in '98 struck me as goofy or dumb. In 2021, that might be a different story, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, bro. Honestly, I've always loved this movie, to be honest. I don't know what it is. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I love Mark Boone. I love seeing him. I love the crew in the beginning, even though obviously we get them taken away. But that's what I said, Mike. No mahogany. Robbie got no mahogany, no wood, no nothing. No ebony. Yeah, I love James Woods in it, man. Maybe something to do like with, because I always love the Karate Kid 3, and you got the head vampire being from there. Even though I know most people fucking hate that dude, I hate him too.
We all pretend to love him now, because when he got announced for Cobra Kai, we're all like, yes, finally, fake Tommy Oliver's gonna be.
We've been wanting this for years. Like, no, shut the fuck up. You've been dogging on that dude.
That's a good moment to realize that, like, we all hated Karate Kid 3. Like, why are we acting like we like it now?
I always liked it. I always liked not as much as the first two, but I always liked it. Not Karate Kid 4 with that chick.
Next Karate Kid. Hilary Swank was in that movie.
That shit is whack. But I love the first three. Like, I love it, dude, because it's crazy. You're like, dude, this kid is coming at my boy Ralph Macchio like crazy. It's like, you are a grown-ass man. Like, and he's coming for, the Karate Kid's neck just because he screwed over this adult. It's like, you two are grown-ass men that are like ex-military, and you're and you guys are threatened by this little kid, by this little karate kid. Like, and this little Asian guy, even though Mr. Miyagi will whoop on both of them at one time, bro. Like, ooh, Mr. Miyagi, R.I.P.
Dude, freaking, first off, Ralph Macchio is like 37 in that fucking movie. He couldn't even have a love interest because they were like, this is statutory something or other. We're not going to let that happen. but I don't know, 3 and 2, to be honest with you, those were always cable watches for me. Like I didn't know which one was which forever. It just, they would be on cable and I'd watch them. You know what I mean? So it didn't occur to me which one was which. They could have just been one long ass movie for all I care. The first film's the only one that I'd say is memorable. Like I remember that film and I appreciate that film. The sequels are just that. They're just the sequels. Like they're not in the same, they don't play in the same ballpark.
I still like the second though, just because you get more backstory on Mr. Miyagi. I mean, he's so mysterious in the first one, which I adore. That's so cool. But then I just love that character so much. So that's why I love him, because you just get more character development and just more of these characters that you love. That's probably a big reason why I like him so much, you know what I'm saying? But no candle to the first, obviously, you know.
I like the second one, the ice scenes, you know, where they have to, you know, that got me, and the whole, you know, that's a good bit. And I love that y'all love vampires so much. We're already talking about Karate Kid 3.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love vampires. But yeah. Yeah, it's not one I watch all the time, to be honest. But when I throw it on, I do enjoy watching it. How shitty would it be to be those actors getting literally buried in that dirt though, and just having to come up for one take? And I think they had to do that a couple of times, and they legit were like having to hold their breath while getting buried, you know, and then just to pop out. I do like that, like how they get rid of all this stuff, like no garlic, no crosses. It's just stake through the heart and sunlight, you know. But I really wish they didn't kill off the crew like that. At least get like half of the movie with the crew. You know what I'm saying? That I could see like cut like halfway through, they all get murked, and he just has to come back from this. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so early that it's just a bummer, man. That's like one of my biggest like pet peeves about it. Is just like I get a taste of this awesome crew and this awesome opening scene, and it just gets taken out, man. But you kind of find out that those guys are kind of dumbasses, you know, like they're telling all this shit about the vampires and what they do to these hookers and shit. And it's like, I think you guys are supposed to be a little bit more low key about it, but I don't know, man. I still have fun with it. I still have a lot of fun with it. I still like, it's John Carpenter. Like everybody hates Ghost of Mars too, and I don't hate that movie. Like I just can like take myself out of it and just kind of enjoy the movies for what they are at times, man. And yeah, I'll have stuff I don't like, but I don't know, man. Like for some reason, I'm just not so like critical about a lot of shit. I try and like look at it in the eyes of John Carpenter and like be like, what is he trying to do with this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to rip on him so hard. The man is the maestro, you know. But
well, every maestro has missteps, right? So okay,
yeah,
on the rewatch, when I was first watching it, I looked over at Jamie and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna like this movie. Like I really was liking the movie.
I really was hoping you were gonna.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't say I necessarily like the film, but there are elements of it that I wholeheartedly enjoy.
Yeah.
I love the opening of the film. I love the vampire crew. I love the level of gore. That's K&B, right?
Yep.
Seeing this movie in '98, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Because in the '90s, they were cleaning up a lot of theatrical horror films, right? And this one gets gnarly. I mean, dude from Sons of Anarchy gets like just like cut in half, you know, and like how heavy it was. Like they go out, they kill these vampires. It was, first of all, really cool because at this point we have Buffy, we had already seen Blade, and basically what happens is this, and they turn to dust. Like you barely tap them with a stake, they turn to dust. It was cool to see it actually be a struggle. To like kill these things, right?
Pounding it in, you know, like the old school Vincent Price shit. Or no, that's Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing, right? Wasn't that Peter Cushing who would be like cracking in? Or and Martin, you know.
But even more so than that, this one, like, there's that moment where James Woods like, come on, like, you know, he's trying so hard. So like I like that. And you got John Carpenter wanting his entire career to do a Western.
Yeah.
And this is the closest he gets, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. It's got this it's beautifully shot. Like they filmed it in New Mexico. The way they use that atmosphere, that lighting out there, like it's really great. That scene when they come up out of the ground is really a well done scene. There's a lot of great moments in this movie. Once they kill his entire crew, though, it becomes like, I don't like using this word because I don't think I'm young enough to really get this word today, but it's cringy. Like after the first like act, I think, like, and not in a bad way. I mean, I like it enough, but like Baldwin, is that Daniel Baldwin, right?
It's a Baldwin. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Daniel.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know, and Laura Palmer's in it. You know, and there's some interesting ideas. Like I love the scene though at the Bates Motel from Psycho 3 when they're hanging out with all the sex workers, as we call them today. That's totally the Bates Motel in part 3, right? Like I just got that vibe from it. But
no way that it does.
It's not, but like it feels, you're right.
It feels like it.
Yeah. So like I like the movie up to a point, and then it just kind of loses me when they introduce the other priest, and I just never quite got that. And then the whole journey of what's his name was starts with an M. Daniel Baldwin's character,
Montoya.
That's right. And he strips Laura Palmer. It's Cheryl Lee, but she's always Laura Palmer to me from Twin Peaks, right? But he like strips her down, like all weird, like on top of her, and he's like, "I'm trying to help you, you know, and you fucking bit me for blah, 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 blah." And it's like, then he falls in love. I don't know. It's so weird. The ending scene where Daniel Baldwin and James Woods have that conversation. He's like, "I'll let you go, but I'm going to hunt you down." Like that was a really good moment there. I think the score's brilliant. Like I really love the music. And one of my favorite things about John Carpenter as a composer is that none of his movies sound alike.
No,
you know, like that's something he really intentionally tries to pull a mood and atmosphere for each movie. So I like that. I just think that script wise, it's got some issues. There's obviously trying to, I've heard the book. I haven't seen it, but the book gets more into the criticism of the Catholic Church as being a money-making entity in the world, right? And I don't feel like they really quite developed that in this movie. So when you find out that the Cardinal's the bad guy, like it's not that big of a moment, you know? So, I mean, I will tell you this. I liked the movie more now than I did then. But I also there's a lot of issues I think with this movie.
Yeah, no, I like it, man. It's not that big of a real reveal by the end. The only thing is you feel like you keep thinking that the new priest, he's gonna be like behind it, you know, and it ends up like I feel like they're trying to make him the red herring, you know, but he just seems too much of a wuss, you know, and then by the end it ends up being, you know, the cardinal who he was working for, and like the new guy becomes like his brother in a way, you know. But
do you think that actor, when he was working on this, was like, "Dude, I'm in a fucking another vampire movie this year with Wesley Snipes that's so much fucking better than this movie"? Like, because that's the priest. The priest is the same guy that is the other doctor that works with the female doctor.
That's right. Can we talk about us?
Yeah. Want to talk about us, Karen? Like, dude, that's the same dude.
In the hospital.
Oh God, he's so creepy.
When the vampire wakes up,
he gave me nightmares, bro. That guy gave me nightmares.
Yeah, and that's the priest in this movie. So I wonder if he was making this like, God, fuck, I'm in a much better film coming out.
Karen.
I do love though that John Carpenter was supposed to do Firestarter and didn't get to, and that was going to be like one of his westerns. So I do love that John Carpenter got to do this, like a Western vampires movie. That's another thing. I just love like the setting of it, even though literally I just got this movie, Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat, and this kind of has like a Western feel. Not as good as Vampires, though, in my opinion. It's more like a town of vampire, like a kind of a Western town of vampires. But this Man, dude, John Carpenter did this music in this too, man. Like, that's incredible. I don't know, man. I like Montoya. He can't, like, I'm glad that he was alive, but I hate seeing him get bit because it's just so dumb how he gets bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you're supposed to be the pro, man, and you just totally let your guard down, bro.
Well, how about the rest of the crew? Just like, let's open the fucking door and, you know what I mean? Just stand there and stare at the vampire. Like, I mean, that whole thing. But
we don't have the truck with the winch. What are we supposed to do?
No other way to, like, what are the other weapons for then? Like, if you can only pound a wooden stake to their heart, how come half of them are walking around with like spears and shit? Like, wouldn't like a wooden spear be a lot more effective than that heavy ass looking fucking weapon from Star Trek that the fuck they're carrying around the whole time?
And they use so many guns, you know? And James Woods got that damn, it's like a damn crossbow from like 2133 or something like that. Like what is this? And I get it, like, but it almost seems like you could, maybe I've watched too much Buffy, but it almost seems like a crossbow that would shoot wooden stakes or arrows would be a much more efficient way to kill a vampire than like shooting him with something, tying it up to a fucking Jeep, and then dragging them out. Like, what are you doing while you're dragging one? Like, the vampires are just sitting there waiting. Like, they're dudes trying to fight Bruce Lee. They're just taking turns. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't you be better off driving the fucking armored truck through the fucking house? I mean, like you're gonna let all the sunlight in at that point, and then just pick off the stragglers. Like these guys just wanted to look badass, and I love that they wait until they get in front of the house to put their shit on too. Like I didn't notice that when I was 13, but it's like y'all couldn't be bothered to be ready.
Like, these are vampires. They can hear y'all.
Yeah. They're having conversations about this shit, and Daniel Baldwin's trying to think of one-liners. A little head. You know what I mean? Like that was like it. I don't know. I like some of the concepts, like the idea of a team of slayers. I think like in Blade 2, when Blade teams up with the dark side, like that's a cool fucking concept. You know what I mean? And like, the blood pack. Sorry, that's a fucking cool concept. The idea of all these hunters. They do the same thing in the sequel. You got fucking Bon Jovi's character, and he's pretty much by himself for the whole fucking movie too. Now, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen the sequel, Manny. So in the sequel, does Bon Jovi play the James Woods character, or is he somebody completely different?
He's Derek. Derek is his name in that one.
Yeah,
and apparently Carpenter had an idea for the sequel, and it would follow the priest, and he would be going after Montoya or something like that.
They wanted to bring back Jack Crow. They like thought Jack Crow was like an iconic character. They just like love that character, Jack Crow. But I think they said too in the Scream Factory Blu-ray that James Woods wanted to come back, I believe, too. Because he's a big actor, but I don't think he's really that big of an actor. I feel like he gets a lot of small TV roles and stuff nowadays. I just to me, he feels a lot bigger than what he really is.
Politics, Twitter aside, James Woods has a reputation for being fucking impossible to work with. Nobody wants to work with James Woods. It's like John Carpenter is one of those rare exceptions that
and they made a deal. Yeah, like they let James Woods improvise every other take.
Oh, really?
Which they typically, Carpenter's not usually into that, which a lot of directors aren't, especially directors that do their own writing, Yeah. Which Carpenter rewrote a lot of the script, but doesn't get the credit for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the credit for it either.
When I was doing my show prep 10 seconds before it started, it did say that they slashed the budget of this from 50 million to 20 million, like right before shooting. So he had to quick rewrite everything.
Oh, okay.
So that may be one of the reasons why a lot of things got cut.
And they were like, well, let's, guys, sorry, we're going to have to kill y'all in the second act, in the second scene. We're just gonna have to kill y'all. We can't afford you. Thank you, John, for that. I appreciate that reminder.
Yeah, you're right, John. He never has.
I like the idea of Valak being made by the Catholic Church. I think that was a cool concept that they had. I mean, it's not like a truly like unique thing. I mean, it's happened in other movies that the church is responsible for vampires, but I thought that was cool. Valak does piss all in this fucking movie other than kill people. Like he's not a very like engaging villain at all. He's
not at all.
He's just like fucking Dracula in that Blade movie they wanted to make but never made because it would have been shit with Jessica Alba, or not Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel. They never made
cool
that.
If they made a Blade movie that had Dracula in it. That'd be cool.
Here's
my thing. So this is supposed to be like the shit dog vampire. Like he's the first one. He is the original OG badass. He's just rumbling around New Mexico, sleeping in the fucking dirt. Like he doesn't have any kind of like organization. Like I get he's got these because he's with these other masters, right? Like that come out, but like, bruh, like are you serious? He doesn't have no infrastructure for his organization. Like he's just literally sleeping in the fucking dirt. And I don't know. It seems like you remember Blade 2, how the top dog vampire had this whole organization and he had this like palatial palace and he bathed in blood and bruh, like this guy's just walking around the desert looking for a fucking black cross. Like really?
Which is what they're looking for.
It's a circular pattern.
How many fucking New Mexican churches could there be that would have, you know what I mean? Like it's the fucking desert. Like it shouldn't take you that long to search these fucking things out. But I was again in my 10 minutes of show prep. I did read that Carpenter specifically said he did not want like vampires that were romantic or anything or smart. Just like he wanted them to be killing machines.
Or sparkly.
Yeah.
He wanted them to be rats, is the way he kept describing it in the interview on the Scream Factory, right? He was like, they're rats, they're hide in the dark, and when they're found out, they get vicious and they scurry around. And I mean, I like that. I like that approach, but I just feel like the King Daddy of them all would have a little bit more class.
It's at 600 years to figure this shit out.
Yeah, still just sleeping in. I mean, he's smart enough that he slept in the dirt outside of that house. So I guess he's just down there listening to his dudes getting killed and be like, fuck, I can't do anything about it now.
None of his other vampires like fucking questioned it either. He was just like, "Hey, you're not gonna hang out with us?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm good. You guys
sleeping out here in case James Woods shows up because he's been hunting me down."
Yeah,
after he killed his daddy.
Oh yeah.
You know there are vampire hunters out there.
Yes.
Yeah. there are worse things out tonight than vampires even.
No, vampire hunters. So it's like, why the fuck are they chilling? Just chilling.
Oh, yep. True.
But so even though we get rid of some of the team, who's your favorite character out of everyone? I'll start with you, Manny, and then we'll go to Robbie, then me.
My favorite character in this film is going to be... I'm going to go with the priest. He's got the best arc, I think, in the story. Like, I guess Montoya gets to fall in love so romantically. But like the priest actually gets to go from like just being the archivist to like, you know, getting fools towards the end. So I feel like there's some growth there. I feel like he gains a dynamic with the main character. So I'm gonna go with the priest, who was so memorable that I just finished watching the film and I can't think of his name without looking at Wikipedia here. So
so memorable.
Karen.
Karen.
Father Guiteau, Adam Guiteau.
I wouldn't remember that either.
No.
Robbie, who's your favorite?
If I had to pick one, it's a toss-up between Cheryl Lee. I like her in the movie. Like she has to be thrown around onto like hard-ass rock and gravel and dirts, and like she just lets it happen, bro. Like she just right. So she's playing. She does this. She's almost like a Bernie in Weekend at Bernie's, but she actually has to do a little bit more than that guy did, right? So I like her. I like the look like of her, like, and I just think she's smoking, okay? And so it didn't hurt that you get to see her rear end in the movie, which I thought was rather nice. But I also do like the vampire, the main vampire, the dude from Karate Kid 3. I think that his look and the viciousness that he has and the power, I think he carries that very, very well. So I like those two.
Hell yeah. So you said Cheryl Lee, and who was the other? Montoya?
No, Valak, the fucking vampire. Are you paying attention?
No, I like zoned off for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You can have Montoya though. He's all yours.
Yeah,
though.
Montoya and what is it?
And
James.
Jack.
What's the Jack Crow?
Jack.
I heard you say.
That's why I'm Manuel Parrot, because I bird names are badass. So.
I probably would go Jack Crow, to be honest. I mean, I do like Montoya's arc a little bit, where but even though he is kind of dumb, I do hate seeing him get bit, and then he like falls for this chick. I mean, but he's like kind of dunzo, and he's like found this kind of hot broad, and she's a vampire, he's a vampire. Why not run away and just be vampires together and have crazy vampire sex down in somewhere in Mexico while drinking tequila or drinking, diluted Mexican blood with tequila in it? That's probably more like how it would go down, to be honest. But dude, because if you've seen American Horror Story, where they're like, when they talk about feeding off people, they're like, fucking, this dude was on crystal meth. It kind of gave me a rush drinking his blood. I crack up every time.
In my vampire script, Chloe, there's a bit in there where they constantly feed their victims like MDMA and shit like that.
Really?
Yeah. And they're like, because they're rolling basically when they do it. And that's the thing. You would get someone super drunk and then you would drink and their blood alcohol levels high and you're like, oh, what a rush.
Right.
Whatever. And here's another thing. How pimp is it that this dude doesn't just bite Cheryl Lee on the neck or whatever? He's like down in her inner thigh, like leeching on blood, like rubbing up on her breastises and shit. Like, this vampire's got some smoothness to him, man. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, that he does. But she also probably was a hooker, so she probably thought he was going to toss
sex worker.
Probably thought she was going to toss him the 20 after he was done.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd say Jack Crow though, most likely, just because I think he's funny as hell at times. He is campy, but I would have loved to see the Jack Crow character like come back for a second Vampires. I think there's.
Are you sure about that? Have you seen Escape from LA?
Well, I wouldn't want it now, but I would have wanted it like a couple years after, just to get more backstory maybe on Jack Crow.
There's a backstory there about his dad and all that kind of stuff, right? So
yeah, I know. It's just he seems like one of the coolest because it's like he grew up with the church his entire life, and it's like he was basically like bred to be a vampire hunter. So I thought that's kind of cool, that he's literally like a weapon of the church, So
they couldn't spring for a fucking weight bench or nothing for him though. I mean, you've seen James Woods. That's the thing. Like he is not a formidable vampire killing me. His head is 2/3 of his torso first off, and his arms are tiny as shit. Like I don't see a world where James Woods is a badass. Like before James Woods, Dolph Lundgren was attached to that role.
Yeah,
and it's like that shit makes more sense. Dolph Lundgren is the type of built that would make fucking Bruce Lee's kid comment on his dick half of Showdown in Little Tokyo. Like I see that with Dolph Lundgren. He exists as that sort of man. James Woods, the tiny guy from Casino, it's just
with the mesh shirt.
Yeah, it doesn't click for me. I do like the character. I think the character could be fleshed out more. I just think like, damn, they really sent this little dude out there, man.
My thing with his character is for how badass they are attempting to portray him and paint his character, right? He comes across so cheesy and so campy, right? And knowing what we know about James being allowed to do a lot of, or people that know him call him Jimmy, friend of the show. I feel like that maybe took away. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like some of the moments. Like, I like how crude he is, right? I like that. It's really weird to watch this movie today because you know what James Woods' reputation is with a lot of people, especially like in the Twitter sphere and shit like that. And like, I'm like, have y'all watched Vampires? Like y'all wouldn't like that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I like how outrageous he is sometimes, but you're trying to paint this dude to be this like badass. And when I'm thinking of badass vampire killers, I want to, what I wanted a little bit more of, I guess, was a little bit more of a stoic nature to James Woods, because nobody in this movie is below a 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Like James Woods, from the moment you see him, he's like up to a fucking 11, like, and he never comes off of it. So you don't get too much range there. I don't know, that kind of throws me out. And it's so campy, but at the same time they're trying to treat it so seriously, right? It's like if they did do a Blade 3, how I assume Wesley Snipes would be in it.
Yeah, yep. Maybe someday that'll happen. But yeah, no, I think this is a movie that I think could be well done as like a Amazon Prime series. Like I think if you recast and you give some time so that the vampire hunters get more time on screen, we can get some more backstories. Maybe we can give a shit a little more. I feel like this, because that's something. Now Dusk Till Dawn, I think I keep comparing it, but you have to. They're two very similar.
They are.
Films that came out within 2 years, of each other, and I keep comparing it to. But that's another one that I think did really good on El Rey. Was Dusk Till Dawn as a TV show worked as well. And I think you could do something similar.
Like that? I never watched that show.
It was good. It's different because like when you watch the film and you look at it through the lens of the film, like all of that happens when they get to the titty twister, right? It's a completely different film until they get to the titty twister. Then it's a different movie. In the TV show, that shit builds like flashbacks and shit, the whole like up until they don't even get to the titty twister until like episodes in, and there's already been vampire shit going on. So like it's a different experience, but I thought it was still pretty well executed. Wilmer Valderrama is very difficult to take seriously as a vampire. As a badass
show.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So he's very difficult to take seriously like that. But otherwise, it's still. I thought they did a pretty good job, and I think this is something that could benefit from that. A longer form content, maybe more nuance in the characters. I think that could definitely be something worth watching.
Could you imagine if this was like a TV show and like the end of the first season is Valak killing his crew?
Yeah.
Like you take a whole season to not just build the backstory of Jack Crow and Valak and all that stuff, but to build up these characters as individuals, and then you kill them all. Like that would shock the shit out of people, bro. And I'm very interested to read the original book to see what they were doing there, because I have heard, and like I said, I haven't watched it, but I've heard that they go a lot more into like the theme about the Catholic Church and money, and that's why the book is vampires with a $sign for the S or whatnot, right? Something like that.
Oh, I thought that was just a fucking internet mistake, like somebody typed that shit in.
No,
like
that's because it's about like it's a money making operation it's almost like the DEA. I didn't say that though. Oh, we're not on PCP. We're not on PCP. Dylan Tort. Oh yeah, it's like the DEA.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, that would be a hell of a good season of television, and you could bring Katrina on. I would change the character. I think what I'd do is I'd put Katrina in as a like a nun initiate, something to give her more time with Montoya and give us something to care about her a little bit more before the change. I think that gives us a little bit more to do with her as well.
Yeah, and maybe take out the idea of her being the prostitute, right?
Yeah,
and it feels like Frank Miller wrote some aspects of this film.
Yeah, aspects. Good word choice.
Thank you. I did. And somebody in the chat was like, "You better tell Jamie to cover her ears." She's not here right now, but I'll tell you what. When the ass shot happened last night, she was the first one to go, So I'm all good. Weird stretch, I know.
What did you think about the music? I know we touched on it a little bit, but I thought the music goes great with the Western vibe and some nice. It sounds like, I don't know. Sometimes it sounds like a cool like banjo or just a cool guitar, man.
Slide guitar.
Right.
Yeah. I love the score. It's John Carpenter is able to do scores that provide atmosphere that's unique to each one of his films, right? Like the Halloween music sounds nothing like the Thing music, and I know that was Ennio Morricone, but we also know that John had a lot to do with that. They Live has a very bluesy kind of vibe to it with the score. This one is more rock, but it's Western. It's not quite country. And the other thing is that not only do you get the burn, right? And it's just got this great, it's got this great tone and theme through it. But then, like, as soon as they go into the vampire hut in the very opening of the film, like, you start hearing, and I watch movies with subtitles on, they called it, what did they call it? It was hilarious. It was like supernatural, it was like supernatural something. I can't remember what they called it, but you hear the like it, and I was commenting to Jamie. I was like, this sounds like he got one of those horror like soundtracks, like to make a haunted house, mixtape with or something, like sound effects from Halloween, right? And he like puts that in, like, it has an atmosphere that's more than just that Western kind of rock vibe to it. It also does have a really ethereal streak that is so subtly put in the background of it that I think it's actually one of his best scores, but I don't know a score of his that I don't think is one of his best scores. So,
yeah, it's got just the right amount of twang. You know what I mean? Like, there's some really there's some really good smart choices there that keep it from getting too much into that country rockabilly sound. It's distinctly John Carpenter, but definitely something different. So.
It says Brian Taylor does the music for the sequel. I was hoping that they would have used John Carpenter's score for the second one.
I'm sure it's probably got that tone to it, right? Or I mean, it
maybe.
should.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I gotta check that one out. Robbie P, what up?
Yeah.
Let me think. Is there anything else y'all want to mention about this one?
Let's talk about the special effects, bro.
Yeah.
That's one of the soaring heights of this movie. Is
A&B.
A&B. Yeah. The bruh. I cannot believe what they were able to do in this film. Like, it's like the production company, if you notice, it's Largo or something like that. And they were, I think, partly a Japanese company. If you notice, it says like in partnership or part of JVC, you know what I'm saying? Which I thought was interesting. It was like VHS, bro. But they did have to make some cuts, like, to make it R-rated. So it would have been cool to get like some of the uncut footage or whatnot. But like, bruh,
yeah,
the effects in this movie are amazing. I love the way the vampires look. I love the gore and death effects. I love the slow buildup of the subtlety, the slow, subtle buildup of what happens. It's Katrina, Cheryl Lee's character's name, right?
Yep.
Okay. Of how she's turning, right? Like, I love that. Like the effects, the makeup, bruh. And just the way that they burst into flame like that, and it felt raw, it felt different, it felt violent, and the effects had a lot to do with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No doubt. What do you think, man?
I love the fact that it's not afraid to be gory. And like, one of the things that it's hypocritical, because like, I will praise to my last dying breath the Lost Boys, Fright Night, vampires turning into these demonic looking things, but the idea of them still being like humanesque, I think, with the level of violence and brutality in this, I think that like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think that helps, because the fact that they like the two vampires in the beginning that they're fighting, they still look human, and when they're killing them, when they're shooting them, it adds. I don't have to suspend my disbelief as much. You know what I mean? I don't know, something about the fact that they didn't go that route with these vampires. I like the Roman candle thing when they go out in the sun. I don't know. That's probably the cheesiest part of the effect. But other than that, man, the gore and everything else in this film, top notch.
For sure.
My favorite bit's when the dude gets like he just shows up, and you're used to seeing vampires like just bite necks and shit, and he just like puts his damn hand through him and just like he's like there's nothing to me that's more insulting than a vampire killing you and not even bothering to feed.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the best, bro.
This dude just decapitated. Like those, his nails, dude, are freaking insane. Just decapitates everybody.
They're great, bro. And he doesn't even drink blood except for just like once or twice in the film. You don't really see that, so.
Yeah, you don't see him like craving and that shit. Like that's always a big part. You see him like fiending. And I'm surprised they didn't do that more since John Carpenter said like they're like rats. You would think that he'd be just slurping on that shit, man.
I do like how it seems like Carpenter intentionally was trying to go against every single typical trope and trapping of a vampire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Not just the gothic romantic nature of it, not just the crosses, which crosses are used very heavily in the movie, but not to like, remember, you got to have faith for that to work for me. But I like how he intentionally goes against all that to try to do. I mean, Carpenter, I don't think wanted to make a vampire movie as much as he wanted to make a Western.
Yeah.
And if had the main character not been quite as ridiculous, I think that it could have probably worked a bit better.
Yeah, for sure. James Wood is a little campy at times, and if it was just a little bit more straightforward, I think it would make it more badass. Honestly,
but this is one of those. This is one of those movies, though. If I would have watched this more in my 20s, drinking with my homies, I would like this a lot more today.
You think?
Guarantee it.
Why you say that?
Because this is one of those kind of movies it's a fun watch. Like if you just have a gang of friends over and y'all are drinking or smoking or whatever you do to chill out and just like riff on a movie and have fun with it. Like this is a good movie for that because there are moments that make you laugh and moments that you just be like, I can't believe that they fucking did that. It's so cheesy. Like those kind of things. I think and I feel bad because Carpenter did only like 2 movies after this, not counting the Masters of Horror stuff. It was like Ghost of Mars and then The Ward. So I really feel like his last great thing that he did cinematically was In the Mouth of Madness. Those cigarette burns, I think, was a good way to kind of wrap up because that I think is still one of his best things he's ever done. But this is one of those movies to watch with your homies while you're trying to have fun and not really trying to pay attention to something. It's got the level of cheese that you get in something like Lost Boys or Fright Night, but it doesn't have quite the flair. It's got a different flair. There is something to appreciate in this movie, and I'm not done rewatching it. I'm going to dive back in probably not too long from now.
Oh yeah. Well, if it gives you a little profound, low-key love for it, then that's what's up, man. Or if it gives you a good time.
As we're talking about it, I'm liking it more. I don't know what's wrong with me nowadays, man. Something's wrong.
Sometimes when I hear you talk about it, it makes me like open up to some different ideas, man. That's what it's here for,
Yeah, Malignant fucked me up, man. I just don't know what I think about movies anymore.
I know, man, because like I kind of like wanted, like I wasn't expecting. I thought it was gonna be like a Conjuring film, and then I was excited that it's like a slasher giallo I was hearing, so I was super pumped for it. Then like the first half I just kept like falling asleep and not really getting into it, so I was like, oh man, it's kind of becoming a chore to watch, but I was just tired and just falling asleep. So then you kind of get sick of watching the same part of the movie over and over again, and you're like, dude, I just want to get to what I didn't watch, but I want to watch it all through, so then, but I enjoyed that. But dude, I love that scene when like you guys have been saying about what is his name, Mark Boone, is that it?
Yeah,
it's the guy getting cut in half like that, bro. It's just so sick, man. And it's cool to see that the Scream Factory release, because they kind of go, there is they have a little video of Greg Nicotero and all those guys kind of getting some of the effects together, and that's one of them that they show or talk.
That's the guy that's in Sons of Anarchy, right?
Yeah.
He was the guy that got hung upside down by Christian Bale in Batman Begins, where he's like, swear to me.
Oh,
and I was
man.
like, is he Bullock? And they're like, no, he's not. I'm like, why do we have 2 dudes in 2 different Batman movies that look exactly like Bullock? And none of them are.
Yep.
In Too Fast, Too Furious, that one guy puts the rat on his stomach and puts a steel bin on it and like takes that torch and lights the trash can on fire, or the steel tin, so that he's like, the rat's got nowhere to go but in your stomach. And Mark Boone's like flipping shit, bro.
That's one of my favorite scenes in that movie. I love that.
That's a wicked scene, bro.
Was he in any of the Blade movies either?
Was he in Blade 2? I almost want to say that. I feel like he might.
I feel like he was a Russian, or maybe that Russian guy just looked a lot like him.
I don't know if he was. What else
anyway.
Yeah,
I figured I'd throw out a question that derails the whole thing. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good, bro.
Let's talk about Karate Kid 3 some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Valak's back.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see that show Chapelwaite though, or Chapelwaite yet? It's Jerusalem's Lot like TV show.
No, I haven't.
Remember I was telling you about that with Adrian Brody? Dude, I watched the first 2 episodes. It's really good, bro. It's on like Epic. It's called Chapelwaite. You spell it's CHAPELWAITE.
Okay.
It's basically, I think it's supposed to be based off of Stephen King's short story, Jerusalem's Lot, which is like a prequel to Salem, the book Salem's Lot. It's supposed to take place in the 1850s. And speaking of Mark Boone, Adrian Brody's character is named Captain Charles Boone. But dude, like, it was kind of refreshing. It's like back in the 1850s, and I was really kind of digging it, man. I think only five of the 10 episodes are out so far, and episode 6 comes out tomorrow.
So is Hulu still developing a Salem's Lot show, or is this where it's gone now? Just after the Disney buyout?
James Wan is producing a Salem's Lot movie.
Okay.
And then this is not like Salem's Lot. There's a short story, like there's a whole big ass book called Salem's Lot, and Jerusalem's Lot is a short story Stephen King did, and it's supposed to be, I believe, a prequel to like the world of Salem's Lot. I never read Jerusalem's Lot. I've only read Salem's Lot, so I can't like speak on it that much, but I believe from what the research that I've done, I believe that's what it is.
Okay.
I don't know how they connect. I'm sure maybe just the town, because they do say in Salem's Lot that it used to be called, that it's called Jerusalem's Lot, but everyone just calls it Salem's Lot. I believe, I swear they say that, you know?
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, I know it's definitely Stephen King and all that, because even 62 was just saying, I think it's Stephen King. Yeah, it says based on the short story Jerusalem's Lot by Stephen King on the poster. But dude, right now it's got 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, so I don't know, dude. I would check that shit out for reals. But what they're doing, I deleted the picture, I think. James Wan is producing that Salem's Lot movie, and I don't know if that's going to be a Hulu. I never heard that. I just know it's going to be a movie that comes out next year.
I remember before Disney bought out Hulu, and when they were still doing Castle Rock, they were talking about adapting Salem's Lot and Needful Things. I thought were two different things they were talking about adapting. I know that second season of Castle Rock or whatever had Salem's Lot in it. That was a pretty big plot point.
Because it says new take on Stephen King's Salem's Lot set to bite in the theaters next Halloween season. So, but you know, they could still do a movie, and then Hulu does their own, like. But maybe that's what they were doing, the Castle Rock thing. Maybe that's what it was. I think still like to see a Needful Things reboot, though.
I think Disney's just divesting themselves of Stephen King. You know what I mean? Like, because they canceled Castle Rock, which had a pretty good second season, and the ratings were really good.
I love season 2.
Yeah, and then they just cut those ties.
Season
you didn't
1,
like Castle Rock?
Not
I
season
didn't
2.
really like season 1. I like season 2.
Yeah.
Season 1 I didn't really like.
I like season 1. I wanted more exploration on that. I thought
you're a multiverse guy too, Robbie. So I bet that probably part of it, huh? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, I love that shit. When you find out about the other world and all that, I thought that was great. I like the what's the character's name? Annie, right?
Yeah.
From Misery. I like her in 2, but all the shit with Tim Robbins and his adopted family and all that shit. What? This is like what? I didn't care about any of that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the writers. I liked it, but I don't know what the writers were thinking because they're totally like two completely different stories that are forced to intersect. Like Annie is forced to intersect with them, but otherwise, yeah, it's. The part I didn't like in season 2 is when they revealed that the guy in the cage is the guy responsible for the vampire creature things. Like, because I liked the idea that was left open. Like, we don't know, is he the devil in the cage or is he just an innocent guy being trapped in this cage? Like, we didn't know. And then they just kind of were like, no, fuck it, he is evil. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like that. I wish they would have left that alone.
It gave me Castle Rock to me was kind of like, what's that show? Was it called Wayward Pines?
Yeah.
Where it had like a really good season, and then it fell the fuck apart, bro.
Season 1 was so good.
Yeah, I agree. And then like, what the fuck happened? Like
they went to like season 3 too. I think at least I fell off after season 2. I fell off after season 2. I tried to give it a shot, and it would just, I actually might have watched all. No, I watched all season 2 and season 3. I fell off when they brought Michael from the Lost Boys. I believe they did 3 seasons, but the one with Kevin Dillon was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Nope, they only did 2, so I fell off on season 2.
They did that weird time jump or whatever in between, like the ending of season 1, right? And then that's when I was like, fuck it, I don't know if I'm gonna even tune in for season 2.
Yeah, it was dumb. I only got a couple episodes in and I just fell off. The first season was just so good, man.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching. Kevin Dillon.
Once again, we love vampires so much. We're talking.
Oh.
Well, I love vampires so much, and Manny seems to like it, and you seem to be in the middle, not so sure what you like. Is there anything else we want to mention before we go to the rating?
I think you need to rewatch the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi gets some really cool chances to develop as a father figure. See, with Daniel, the relationship, while it's a strong bond, stays very, very flat the entire time. Like they have that bond at the beginning and they keep it towards the end. In the next Karate Kid, Dylan, you get to see him fight for the affections of Julie. You get to see him try to be a father. I think that there's so much more to be said about the adopted family and what that means in America in the next fuck me, I can't do it. Yeah.
It was like laughing the entire time. Oh my god. Yeah, I should just retitle this and just be like the random shit we decided to talk about tonight.
We talked about vampires a lot though, so
might as well. Vampires and the Karate Kid 3, you know.
And Wayward Pines.
They tie together. They tie together.
Rock.
Hey, what up, G-Spot?
Hey,
Station.
Yeah, though. So, if any of y'all seen John Carpenter's Vampires, definitely let us know what you thought about it down in the comments, and let us know what your rating is out of 1 to 5. Your digs or slips, whatever you want to go, or crucifixes for that get stabbed through vampires' hearts. What do you want to give this one tonight, Manny?
Oh, I came into this a mere 2 hours before the show started, trying to watch this quickly on the phone, and I came into this thinking it was a solid 4. I'm gonna go with a 3 on this film. It lost 1 point, just with the unbelievability of James Woods to me as a badass, and then it lost half a point with that weird fucking like when Valak is attacking the party and they've got James Woods superimposed over the other footage and he's that was a poor choice. That made the film look cheap as shit. So that lost half of your dig. So it's a solid 3. It's a solid 3.
Not bad, not bad. Could be a lot worse. Robbie, what did you?
Could be Iron Eagle.
Yeah. Right.
I came into this thinking that I was going to give it like a 2, but after watching it, 3. It's 3. It's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of things working for it. It's got a lot of things not working for it, but some of the things that aren't working for it can, over repeated viewings, become charming, right? So I think it's got rewatchability. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's got some really solid special effects, great music, great cinematography. The one fault might be James Woods, and I like James Woods. I really do. I love him in that mesh shirt and Casino as Sharon Stone's ex-boyfriend. I love that, right? So like, I just there's some moments in here that don't quite work, but I'll go three slips, 3 you digs, and yeah, I'll go 3.
Hey, not bad. That's respectable. I'm gonna give this one a 3.5. I love it. I still have a lot of fun with it. It's not one I watch all the time, but you know, if I watch it like once a year, I keep it like to the minimum. I feel like if I just tried to watch it a lot, I might not like it as much. But it's one that I just have fun with, and every time I throw it in, it just feels kind of a little nice and fresh. Like some things I forgot. I don't know, but I enjoy some of the characters. James Wood. I definitely would like to see like a Dolph Lundgren be him or something, you know. But I think James Wood is definitely a better actor than Dolph Lundgren. But somebody of that size and you know, that to whoop ass like Dolph Lundgren can, you know. But I still like the crew we get, man. I wish we could have got more of them. But the score is fantastic. The cinematography is great, just like Robbie said. Just the whole atmosphere, the whole, you know, Western fucking movie that John Carpenter wanted to do, man. I love it. Western vampire film. That's just how I put it that way, and it just sounds so cool to me.
I think Near Dark's a bit better at kind of melding that, but it's a bit romantic, you know, and it has its own problems. I think Vampires has a better ending than Near Dark does. But can we just all agree that James Wood's best movie in this sci-fi horror genre is Videodrome? I mean, right?
Oh my, that's
like Videodrome. I almost forgot that he was it just popped in my head like, bro, James Woods was in Videodrome.
That's why'd you pull out Casino? Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, I'm like, man,
Casino fit the joke better, right?
Yeah, it definitely did.
You know,
his goofy ass with that mustache. Give him that mustache in this film with the leather jacket. Oh my god!
It's one of the biggest things, man. Like 2 months after Blade, James Woods showing up, wearing sunglasses during the day, wearing sunglasses inside when he's fighting vampires, and I'm just like, Wesley was better. Wesley was better.
Oh, definitely. No,
because there are worse things out tonight than James Woods. There's worse things out than Jack Crow.
Oh, definitely. So
it's Eric motherfucking Brooks, my friend.
Yeah.
Sam gave it a 3 as well. Missing Link gave it a 3.5. See, me and my boy, we always see eye to eye. And then Comic Book G-Spot gave it a 4. So Manny and Robbie both agreed on 3s for it, and I said a 3.5. So, you know, we'll round that out to about a 3.69. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that math works.
No, it doesn't, but we'll just say it does, you know.
I'd be like 3.369.
Okay, I see where you're going, but yeah. I'm gonna give it 3.69 because I can, you know what I'm saying, and because I do like it. It is
Dylan's horror show. It's not Robbie's horror show.
3.3.69 is probably more of what it is, you know, because it's a fun film. It has some good characters, but I would have liked more of those characters, you know, and like a little bit better character development for them, you know. It's just a lot of campiness throughout it, you know, just a lot of mahogany, you know, hardwood, you know, ebony, you know, so yeah. But yeah, man. So that concludes that review. What do you got anything to show off tonight, fellas? I sadly don't have much, but
I got a little bit.
I'll show you what I got. I know Manny's probably got helly shit.
Right now. Like, what can I grab?
Yeah, nothing vampire specific. I realized that during the Friday night review. I was like, I'm showing off nothing vampires here at all.
I don't really have, like, I'm not a big vampire guy, like, honestly. I love slashers. I love, like, monster movies, but I've seen all the Dracula movies, all the vampire, all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a werewolf guy. If anything, I don't know, man. I love it all. I just love it all. It's hard to get it all, man. When you love it all. What do you got though? Or I guess I'll start first because I really don't have much. And if I think of something else, I'll show it. The only thing I've gotten lately, man, and I can't wait for the 4Ks to come, but Alone in the Dark also I hope comes soon. I've seen some people getting it, but mine doesn't show coming anytime soon.
Yeah, that one had some delays. I remember.
Some people I see have been getting it, but I picked up, dude. It was like I watched.
I love that movie.
Recently, and I saw it was like $5 on Amazon for the Blu-ray. So I was like, "Fuck it, dude! Like, snag that up, dude." I love this movie. It's a fucked up movie, but it's just so good, man. It just has such a star-studded cast, you know. So Sleepers, man, I love that film. Such a good one. And then I got my Vampires Scream Factory release, which I love this. This might have been either this or Silver. I think Silver Bullet was the first one, but this and Silver Bullet were like Halloween 2 was my first, then Silver Bullet and this. These were my first like Scream Factory releases because, I got the slip on this one, man. But yeah, I got this one day one too, bro. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why. But I love this film, so fuck yeah. Oh, actually, you can start. I have one Funko Pop I got today that I could show.
Show it.
I have to go downstairs and get it.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
He went to go get a pop, and I just watched Penn State get another touchdown, so that Auburn's down again. But it looks like it's this game. Manny, did you get anything for show and tell?
Sure. I grabbed some comic books. Right, we need to talk about comic books. Yeah. So
not on this channel, man.
Not on this channel.
Not anymore, huh?
Well, never mind. No. So I guess some horror-esque comics I picked up. Ice Cream Man 25. I'm like weeks behind, man. So Nice House 4, Last Book You'll Ever Read 2, The Me You Love in the Dark. Nick hipped me to this. Tiff's reading it, so I haven't started it yet, but Man-Eater's the Cursed. Sounded like a fun ride. Mamo, which is me and Kyrie's book right now. This is our bedtime book. It's really good. I was surprised at how much she liked it because it's really wordy, but there's like a lot of sight words for her. She likes it. And then Homesick Pilots is always good. So that's the horror stuff I picked up.
Very nice.
Yeah. I had to drop Homesick Pilots after the first arc. I had to drop my whole pull, bro. I only got maybe 5 titles now. It's fucked up, bro. I'm so salty.
Did you read God of Tremors?
No.
Great book.
This was really good.
Dude, I just really good. I didn't even know about that one. I didn't even hear about that, but dude, I have been so out of the comics the last 2 months. It's been fucked up, bro. I'm trying to stay up on Something Is Killing the Children and some my favorite ones like Batman and the Tinian one and Silver Coin, Ice Cream Man, and there's another one. Firepower. There's one more, but I know Berserker too is another one, but I don't know, man. I had to cut it back. I hated doing it, dude. I hated it, but I have no money to get them. I haven't been showing shit off for you. I was buying a shit ton of Blu-rays before. But this isn't mine, but my mom got this because she adores Hocus Pocus. So she's picked up the freaking the Danny with the little Binks cat. That's awesome. I want to go to Spirit Halloween, bro, and pick up, some shit. But there's this Michael Myers with the jack-o'-lantern, and it lights up, and he's stabbing the knife through the jack-o'-lantern. It's kind of like a little resin statue. Dope. I wanted to get that, bro. Last year it was impossible to get. But that's she got that off Amazon. So if you don't have a Spirit by you and you got Amazon, bro, you can pick up these Spirit Halloween exclusives.
Oh, look at that.
So I got awesome. The Trick or Treat. I want to get the one with the little pumpkin, but this is a cool one to have. I think he's got the little candy bar with the knife in it.
That's dope. I like that.
Watch that. I gotta watch that movie.
Dude.
Me and Tiff see it all the time, and we think, "Oh, we should watch this." Everyone says how good it is. And
Oh my god, dude!
Best movie about Halloween ever.
Dude, we did that last year on Halloween, bro. That was one of my favorites to do, man. I adore that film so much, dude. So like Halloween and Trick or Treat are like have to be watched on Halloween, dude.
I'm gonna have to check it out. We thought we had seen it because I think like the Tooth Fairy film that came in around the same time had a similar font face, and we thought we had seen Trick or Treat. And it was like, then when all the Sam merchandise started showing up, we're like, oh, we haven't seen that yet,
dude. Yeah, bro. It's a fun one. I love that one so much. Robbie, what you got tonight, my brother?
Not too much. I'll show my non-slip version that I have of vampires.
What you like that? You like that cover better?
I actually do. I honestly, yeah, I do. Because there's the other one. Yeah, it's in the Blu-ray player right now, but I do have the disc too. I don't just buy cases with no disc. Wouldn't that be a weird stretch? My recent VHS obsession. So I picked up some VHSs. I found these two at the thrift store yesterday. So I got E.T.
Oh, nice.
Right? How much are you paying for these? Like 50 cents to a buck?
These were 50 cents each. So I got Cobra, bruh. Like super pumped to have those.
Those look nice too.
Yeah, they're nice. Jamie has loaned me some of her VHS for the collection because eventually I'm building a VHS set. That coming in 2022 is the plan. But she gave me some Kubrick classics, so I got Eyes Wide Shut.
Nice.
Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
are you ready for this one? The Shining.
I remember having that.
Nice.
Yeah. And the only new Blu-ray I got this week sets me one movie away from having every single John Carpenter release, except for his shorts, right? So I got my copy of Body Bags.
Hell yeah!
Which he did two of the movies in here, and Toby Hooper did one of them, right?
Yeah, the eye one.
This is also produced by Sandy King, who produced Vampires. So I'm really excited. All I need now is someone's watching me, and I got them all. And I'm ready. I'm ready to just finally have all of Carpenter's filmography. But I'm excited to dive into that one, bro. Really, really, really am. So yeah.
Yeah, Robbie has Dark Star. I have Dark Star as well.
Yeah, I do have Dark Star.
What's up, Kevin? That's all you got, brother?
That's all I got, brother.
Hell yeah. Well, let's see. What do we got coming for next week? Horror Fest.
Well, on Friday night on PCP, we're doing The Funhouse by Toby Hooper.
Yeah. Speaking of Toby Hooper. And then I'll be following that up with Haunt, which is a movie produced by Eli Roth. Forget who directed it. I think it was two guys that directed it. They might be brothers. I gotta look. But that's a movie that came out in the last, I want to say it came out maybe 5 years ago or something. 6. That is a movie that I don't hear get talked about a lot, but it's one of my favorites, dude. It is a sick, of the last decade. It's a really great movie. And the directors were highly inspired by Toby Hooper's The Funhouse, so I thought that would be a cool little double feature. And I believe TM Nerdy, a.k.a. Travis, the man from Canada, is going to be coming to hang out with us and watch Haunt with us. That was one he wanted to check out with us. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Haunt, I know it used to be on Shudder. I don't remember if it is still. Might be on Amazon Prime or something, but Haunt is a really fun one. It was a Shudder exclusive, and the weird thing about it, it never got an American Blu-ray release. So the only way you can get it is on DVD or on digital, which is just so weird to me. And that's another reason why I feel like it slept on. It is on Shudder, so if you have Shudder, you could check it out there. I'm seeing if it's on Prime. But dude, it's how does this movie not get a fucking I don't know what I do with this. Oh, here it is.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
It should be. I haven't even opened my DVD copy because it's just so awesome. From the writers of A Quiet Place and producer Eli Roth.
I'm looking forward to checking it out, man.
Is that what the covers always look like? Because I thought the cover on like digital was like a white face, like just like a solid white face for the cover. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I wonder what the guys who directed this. So it's Scott Beck and Brian Woods, written and directed by.
Okay.
I can see. I guess if they did The Quiet Place, that's pretty good. If they did the script, but dude, I'm looking forward to seeing what Robbie thinks about this one, because this is I really like this one. It's not like the most amazing thing ever, so don't go in like crazy. Just go in there, man, just normal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't watch a trailer for it or anything. Just go into it, bro. I think you'll have fun with it, bro. I feel like it's a really good double feature for the Funhouse. If anything, it feels like a remake in a way to me, but it's not, it's its own thing, but it's its own thing. But just hearing how the directors, were highly inspired by the Funhouse, I'm like, oh, it opens your eyes, But yeah, so that should be fun, dude. Tobe Hooper's. I'm really hoping I can make that, dude, because I fucking adore the Funhouse, dude. You know who's coming on for that?
Yeah. Me, Jay Strick, Jelani, Brooks, and Brian, the Brianiac, is going to be there. And by the way, when he was like, hey, I want to join Horror Fest, and I was like, well, we got a spot available for one movie. He's like, what's that? And I said, Funhouse. And he goes, what's that? And I was like, it's directed by Tobe Hooper. And his infamous response was, what's a Tobe Hooper?
Wow.
So I hope to have you there, Dylan. I'd love to have you on PCP for Horror Fest sometime.
Dude, I've been so fucking pissed to miss out on these last couple ones, but I'll get.
We had a great show last night, by the way.
I know.
28 days later, had Perry, had Hammer Time Hellshoe. Yeah, it was fun.
I know. I jumped in. It was nuts yesterday, but I'm hoping to make next week's. I think I should be able to.
All right, let's make it happen. You and the captain can make it happen.
Sometimes it's the time, because I forget that yours are like 10 my time, so like by then it's like just nuts at the bar. Because usually like I feel like if it was, I don't know, earlier, or it just depends. Like it's always my luck. It's nuts at the fucking bar, but.
Well, we would do them earlier, but we do them at the time we do them because that allows Jelani to be there.
Exactly, so. I know. I'll figure it out though. Even if I can only come for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, just to get in there for like fucking half hour to an hour,
Yeah.
But
that's all it takes. Anyway.
Yeah. What do you got going on this week, tomorrow? And if anyone is not already subbed to my boy, man, make sure you do. Tell him what's up, bro, and tell him what you got coming out tomorrow. Cinema.
Yeah, so I got Wednesday coming up this week. We've got David Boer coming on the show, Jason Douglas, Bullseye Bob, Joe Corallo, Verno, Comics Will Break Your Heart. It's going to be a pretty good panel. We're going to be talking about how we create engage or how we craft the worlds, right? So it's a little different because we have comic creators who can literally talk about crafting worlds and characters, but then for the social media influencers, how is it that we create what it is that we create and create consistency across our stuff? So it's just kind of it's a roundtable discussion about creating worlds, and I got to find a way to work in the creators, I guess, because I didn't think about it when I started coming up with the show plan.
You got Joe on there?
Yep, Joe's coming on, and you will always have your open spot, Robbie. So if
I may have to come in just to say what's up to Joe, and I've never met David, so
yeah. Killer Queens was a really fun read. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that, and then he has some other book, Wonto or something like that. I don't know, I never heard of it, but he's got some other book that's pretty popular, I guess.
It's called Kanto.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I didn't give a good review to Killer Queens. Maybe I shouldn't show up.
I had fun with it. I had fun with it. Anyways,
new book?
Yeah. It's like Will and Grace with space assassins.
Oh, I saw he posted it.
I mean,
it was dope. I got
it's a queer sci-fi book, and Jennifer actually made me appreciate it more because she goes, the whole joke is that they're trying to go straight because they're crooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's whatever. It's a little joke.
It's good. I liked it. I laughed.
Joe's a great dude. You're gonna have a lot of fun with him, man.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's awesome,
and he knows so much. Yeah, he's got it right to Backstar.
Yeah,
he's going to be joining us in a couple of weeks for the Suspiria movie review on the channel, and we dedicated a whole poll for him, the Joe Corallo poll, and the winner of that is Satan's Little Helper. So y'all go try to find that weird stretch of a fucking movie.
Oh man, I feel like I didn't jump on the Joe Corallo poll. I feel like I didn't vote for that one, or if I did, I probably voted because it was the one that had the most votes. I usually try to stick with that one. But yeah, so there's that coming up, and then the last Wednesday of this month, because there's 5, is just a kickback show. So it's the Backlog Bros Back Chat. So you guys are welcome to come on, and we're just gonna hang out for an hour and a half and just bullshit.
Brandon gonna be there?
Brandon very well may be there. I don't know. I think
I'm busy that night. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just joking. Because now if I don't show up, he's gonna think that I'm like, this is it. I don't want Brandon to like go through a crisis thinking that I don't like him, because I don't.
You don't like him? Wow, bro. What did he ever do to you?
No.
Ask him about Jack Kirby. That's what happened.
Brandon's doing pretty good, man. He's had some really great creators on, and he's got a really good comic knowledge for a child his age. So I'm excited to have him on the batch.
Brandon's great, man. I'm just messing with it. It's just a bit, y'all. If y'all don't know me and Brandon and how we work and interact together, it's just a bit. Yeah. But I don't like him.
And then October's all horror related, right? So books, first week in October will be horror books, manga, and comic books. Then horror films, television shows, and video games, and then the horror toys and collectibles. So it's all horror themed next month. So
how appropriate.
That's what we got.
Heck yeah!
You should use the Horror Fest logo.
I could if that's okay with you. I mean, I usually just co-opt your shit like without your permission half the time.
Anyway. No, don't worry. I got lawyers working on it.
So,
Robbie, what you got coming up this week, my brother?
Tomorrow night, Rockin' Robbie Live. Monday night over at the EXP, The Experience. I'll be slinging some comics with the good folks over at Dynamic Forces. I released a preview video of some of the stuff that's going to be on sale. And it's pretty cool. We got a Batman and Robin #1 signed by Frank Quitely. We got a Spider-Man #1 by Todd McFarlane, but signed by John Romita. Did he do anything on the book? No, but it's a John Romita signature. That's freaking cool. Some CGC books, some Silver Age, Fantastic Four, some remarks. So that's going to be a fun show. I hope everybody jumps over and checks me out there. Weekly comic book review, obviously. Manny's show, obviously, I may pop in there. You can check out my top 10 video with Jim Mint Collectibles, which just debuted this morning on his channel. That's always a fun show. Jim's just one of the best. I just had Matt from Pressable Defects on the channel. What a great conversation. Super great conversation. Those guys, we didn't get to have Guy and Jay, but Matt, our conversation was dope. I think if you like the conversations we do at PCP, you'll really, really like that one. Next Thursday, we got John Lees. And we've got Alex Cormack on the channel. They are the creators and writers and artists of Sync. And they have a new book out, which is it's a wrestling book told by way of Shakespeare's Macbeth. It's called Crimson Cage. And John also just announced this week that Hotel Volume 2 is coming in December from AWA. So I cannot wait to have John back on the channel and have Alex on for the first time. So, and then Funhouse next week.
You need to bug him about Sync Volume 3, bro.
Bro, we did last time he was here, and we're going to do it again. So,
hell yeah.
Like, hey, this wrestling comic's great, but where's Sync fucking Volume 3, assholes?
Yeah.
That's how we're going to start the show.
I'm getting Hotel Volume 2 before I get Sync Volume 3. Like, no, bro. Slow your roll. I want Sync Volume 3 and then Hotel Volume 2.
Well, it's not necessarily up to John, but whatever.
I know. Maybe he might already had that Volume 2 Hotel already like done and in the bag months ago, That'd be sweet if they came out for October,
Yeah. Dylan, did you check out Candace's video yet?
Whose?
Candace.
No, I did not. Not yet.
Interesting.
Which one?
Candace.
I don't know who that is, to be honest, so I feel bad.
Candace.
You know Candace.
Nah, and I feel like I'm going to get fucked here.
Let's just go on then. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry.
Candy's nuts or something.
It's Candace Nick fit in your mouth, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I knew it was something was coming. I was like, damn, am I gonna feel like
you played really good defense on that? You played really good defense because you wouldn't say Candace, which was great. That's a really good way to do it.
Yeah. Good job on my end, then.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, bro. You're learning.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Fables. Thanks, my boy Link Slots. You got a shit ton of people in here. TM as always. Thanks everyone. Always the constant supporters. Sam Fett, my boy Entropy Economics, Comics, aka Kevin, the Cerebros, Comic Book G Spot 62 Blues. I know Nick was up in here. Let's see. John, my boy John was up in here. Dog Pound Brown, my boy Robbie P. Mark was up in here. Brother Joe. And that's all I got for now. I know there was other people here, but it don't let me scroll no higher. Yeah, bro. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Y'all are the best. Do your homework. You got Toby Hooper's The Funhouse and Haunt. Let me see before I go. I know it's on Shudder, so check that shit out on Shudder if you can. And last but not least, I'll see if it's on Hulu before I bounce. No Hulu. So you gotta check it. You can rent it for $4 on Hulu, but I just get Shudder, man. Shudder is the shit. So y'all are the best, man. We will see you next week. Thanks everyone for hanging out, for real. Can't do this shit without you guys. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Peace out.